For me, working with Tartan Paint has really taken us Shell as on a self-discovery journey, and that's been something completely different to what I would have expected in terms of looking at establishing our vision and things of that nature.
So I think the main thing about the Tartan Paint process for me has been that it brings to life some of the standard change management theory. So everyone talks about making a case for change, but Tartan Paint uses really simple technology like video interviews to really make that happen and really bring it to life for people.
And at Prague we had some of the real skeptics stand up and say, I get it now. And the bit that shaped and changed that was the cinema show, which was brilliant. I mean, I thought, to be honest, when it was first proposed to me that we did it, I thought, oh, we got a bunch of hardwired engineers here, they're not going to like this. But in fact, you know, the popcorn, the whole bit made it different, special and stand out. And at the end of it, the number of people who stood up and said, hey, that was really different, and therefore it made the points that needed to be made.
There are a lot of aspects of it that are unique and different. I much enjoyed, and I think the people on our team enjoyed the connection back to our heritage. It's one of those things that in the engineering, Shell world, that's not the first thing you'd go to. We've moved on from there, but actually the gems that Mark and Tartan Paint were able to help us pick out from our heritage to help us link and leverage that going forward in our thinking was quite helpful. The metaphor, and then looking at other companies in the supply chain business was a huge opportunity for us to start driving people to looking at insights. And so I really like looking at Zara and Dell and Ford to just get us out of our oil business thinking and looking at the fish supply chain and really driving for the insights and energies from that. That's helpful.
The other part that works really well is the emphasis on aligning what we say and what we do. Because all too often we attempt to do those parts, but they're somehow isolated from each other. So actually tying them together consciously has a stronger impact than focusing on one or the other or the separate aspects.
Another one is about the connection to brand and how do we really leverage that pride in the brand, not just externally to the consumer and to the marketplace, but with the people who see it every day.
I think that the way in which the natural teams have worked this year, my guess is producing $40–50 million worth of benefits over and above working as we did in the silos. Now, I think we probably can't attribute every dollar of that to the piece of work that we did. Some of it's the people themselves picking up the themes and doing the stuff. But I do think that without the idea of the natural teams and the end-to-end storyline and the metaphor, so we get out together, we make a difference as the rallying cry, we have the metaphor, and that enables us to move to action. Substantial parts of that value would have been missing. And all of those individuals who participated in this are changed by it. And although many of them might now tell the story slightly differently, the power of this is that it spreads. And you have significant people who then take up positions of influence in other places. And again, because the power of this story is that it's built from their individual experiences, and it's about them crafting it and not the other guy doing it, changes the level of ownership. And so those people become ambassadors in what is a very large organisation. So I think those are the places where the value comes from. And I think that on a global basis, you can multiply those numbers by factors of 5 or 6, in terms of the kind of value that's been generated.